Sup team, how we going? First off, I just want to say a huge thank you to all you out there for supporting this Assorted Kiwi podcast. Life is assorted, taste is assorted, our minds are assorted, and our stories are assorted. The Assorted Kiwi podcast is where Kiwis can share their assorted perspectives, ideas, and dreams. Assorted is all about Kiwis connecting through what is important to them. Every idea is important to who you are. Some may miss, but the best ideas are the ones that challenge ways of thinking and also emotionally connect people to one another. This is the definition of the Assorted Kiwi. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Assorted Kiwi show. I'm your host, Hamish, aka the Assorted Kiwi. To my left, I've got a very special guest. But a quick intro. And actually, before the quick intro, I'll just say this is the third episode, and I just want to say a massive thank you to all you guys out there as the intro for supporting this podcast, because it's all new to me, but it's a journey, and that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? So again, to my left, special guest. Before I say the name of this brother, I just want to say thanks for being here, bro. It's awesome. At the Assorted Kiwi pad, right in front of all the records. It's a pretty cool backdrop. I love it. It's my zone. It's going to be a cool one. But a quick story of how I met this brother here. So how I met this brother is that pretty much off the back of our first episode with Checker Patterns, so shout out Checker Patterns. And also shout out to 59 Seconds and the boys over there, because it was through 59 Seconds that I came across this cat, and there was one clip, and the second clip was probably your first single, actual single. We'll get into a little bit more detail. That just blew me away, and it was actually off the back of the first interview that kind of all the dots kind of connected, and then we ended up here, bro. But guest, instead of me talking, it is Taiotims on the Assorted Kiwi podcast, bro. Welcome here. How you going, brother?
Thank you. Good. Shout out to the bro for having me here. Just been in contact for a bit.
Yeah.
But it's good to finally be here.
Yeah.
Like you said, saw him on a clip through Checkered. Shout out to the bro. Just saw what he was about, and I just love this environment and what they're all about. So just felt easy for me to come on here.
Shot, brother. And I probably didn't do a decent intro of you and what you're about.
Nah.
But like at the end of the day, this is a sort of Kiwi podcast, so it's regardless of what you do, it's just good yarns. But Tao, give us a rundown of who you are and how we kind of built, basically.
Cool. So name's Teo, from Central Auckland, also from Waterview. 24 years old, just doing music at the moment. I don't know if I'm a rapper, but I just would call myself an artist.
Yeah.
Don't want to limit myself to being a rapper.
And I want to start off with that, bro, because that is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one track in particular, and it's on your chest right now. Just tell me, first off, bro, just tell me how you even got into music, bro. And I know we've talked offline a bit about it, but like, what was the journey for you? Like, where did your musical journey start? You're 24 now. Paint the picture for us.
I think honestly it was like most artists. It's the therapeutic side. I'm a Libra, and I hate, I guess, admitting it. People tell me that I struggle to speak out. So writing was my thing to get me through some dark times. Yeah. Didn't really have the confidence to put it onto a track or say it in front of people, but in the shower or whatever, that was just me, or in headphones, running by myself, just vibing out. So I started writing for a while, maybe just out of high school, or maybe 17, but just to myself, like I said, just to myself. But it wasn't until I guess I did a freestyle in one of my boys' houses. Obviously a bit too many.
Yeah.
But jam the beat. My boys, they freestyle all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so I wanted to be on that level, but
Yeah.
I didn't have that confidence. The words coming out just wouldn't come out right. But all the words in my head, like I think so much stuff.
Yeah.
But it couldn't come out right. And so I guess practice. Until one time, that one night we had a drink up, boys played a beat, stemmed the lazy freestyle, like jumped in, had the confidence and everything. And after that, the boys were just like,
Whoa.
see, you got something, like, that's me, you got bars, blah, 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 flow, love the flow.
That's awesome.
And so, that was just that booster. That's where it all kind of started, really.
Kind of like a bit of positive reinforcement, but a little bit of validation that you're on the right pathway. Hard.
Yeah. So it's not just myself that's like, I got game. But
Yeah,
like,
and your boys is actually, like, your boys are putting, like, giving you those good vibes as well, and this makes you want to go further with it, eh?
Yeah, and these were dudes who freestyle. Like, they've been freestyling for ages. So coming from them, I know it's not just the boys, but it's like they're those type of people that'll give it to me straight. Like,
hard.
Nah, whack.
Yeah.
Can never do that again.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And actually, I was just while you're talking, I just realized that you are actually the first artist outside of producer. I know we've had Checker Patterns on, but it's interesting, someone from a MC perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But again, now we live in a day and age where it's artist is a better term, and it's the one that's better reflective of what you do, because you're more than just a rapper, particularly from, and definitely stop the interview now, go through to my Soulview, because I'm not exaggerating like that. Just it's been blasting the whip ever since you came through my phone, bro, and it just means so. It hits me a lot, that track, because it's so much meaning. And what you said that your freestyles, you couldn't freestyle. By sure, I can understand that in your head, you heard it every single word before you even landed that first freestyle, eh? And that's what it's all about. It's just the foundations enough to be able to do.
That's exactly
freestyle.
it. That's exactly it. I think with just the Soulview track, that was one where I had written a lot of my material comes from the soul, hence Soulview. And I've always wanted to, I guess for my people, islanders in particular, they've been taught not to speak out because it comes out as you're being weak. So I wanted to break the chains and express myself in hopes that it heals another soul. And I wanted to also just, it's a view, or it's my soul's view on the pain and everything like that. So
internally as well as what you see. Yes, bro.
Exactly.
It's it's more than just a track, eh?
Yeah.
It's it's your purpose statement, just as Assorted as my personal brand, or what you're living by, or your actions are reflective of it. It's fire.
Exactly it.
It's so good,
exactly
eh?
It.
It's and it's so important just to have that, eh? Because it's not to knock anyone's hustle, and I've gone through this journey myself, and from hearing your music, or even from the conversations that we had, you probably had a lot of time to be reflective of yourself and ups and downs. But what's your journey been even before? Because you're from Auckland, but you've talked to me that you're over in Australia, eh?
Yeah.
And what were you doing before? Because we've talked about the journey of different paths that Islander people not generally take, but it's known as you've got, rap or go to the league sort of thing. Talk to me through that journey after high school. What was when was that? That was about 6 years ago. So what happened after high school? Because I think that's to your point, it's to educate brothers and sisters out there that it's not just one way or the highway. It's they can probably learn a lot from your Soulview, bro.
It's I guess out of high school, I was throughout high school, footy was life. Like most brown kids, islander kids, footy is life. It's like there's nothing about schoolwork, or there's no business mindset, or there's no clothing or music. Like, you have a few that look into that, or they've been brought up and they're around that environment, so they're used to that. But a lot of us, it's footy, and so when I left school, I went to Australia and I went to try cricket there. I lived in Campbelltown.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard the place, but Campbelltown, that's like the south side area, or southwest.
Yep.
I went to Campbelltown, but the reason also on the background was because I had a daughter on the way coming, and that pressure, it kind of forced me to go to Oz
To make it,
to make something of myself. But there was so much pressure. Yeah. Like I was, straight out of high school, but I would have to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I would have to go from the house, and then the train station was like half an hour away. I would have to go there. Then the train ride was like an hour and a half to go to another train station, which I'd have to catch another train to try and make it to work by 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I work my shift. This is labor, just normal freight labor.
Yep.
Work that, bust it off. Then I'd have to train all the way back. After that, I'd have to go to training, bust that out, and then go back home. By the time I got home, it would be like maybe 10 o'clock. And then I'll just sleep, wake up at like 3 o'clock again, repeat. And so there was so much pressure. Part of it is, yes, I've always wanted to be footy, and going to Oz, so much competition, right?
Yep. And when you say, before you carry on, when you say footy, is it union or league?
Oh, league. I'm a leaguey.
Okay.
I'm a leaguey. I've never played rugby in my life, but yeah, I'm
got you.
I played league my whole life.
That's why the move to Australia was the thing, because it's.
And I had family. I had family who had been in the system there.
Okay.
So it was kind of like trying to play my moves right, to go there, use their connections, and then do well. But things didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
Ended up moving back, and then just working my normal job now.
Yeah.
Been there since I moved back, and just grinding it out. But I just wanted to do something else besides working for another person.
Yeah.
Because it's normal for us to do that.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do, and I just think music fit with me because I grew up around music. I grew up in church.
Yo.
I play the drum.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, I play the drums. My brothers play the piano. My other brother plays the guitar and sings. So I've grown up around music. I've always loved, like I said, the therapeutic side. Just jam it out. So it all kind of fit, and I've always wanted to do music in my head, but it's just that confidence and
got you
actually doing it.
Not just thinking about
Not
doing
thinking
it.
It's just doing it. Like, that's the difference. There's a lot of people who talk. There's a lot of people who do. And I wanted to be in the do category.
Yeah, hard. But the thinking's important as well.
For sure.
But it's not just, you can't just do all the thinking.
Yeah.
It's probably like the closest, and I do this a lot, bro, and anyone who's watched knows that I do this a lot, is it's kind of like someone who goes to university and is a professional university student, and they're a master in the theory of, say, business, but they don't know what it's like to actually run a business, or, it's interesting. Or even those who, like myself, I'm never going to be an expert of being an MC or a producer because I've never done it. I have done it different times. It's only for closed ears, bro. Yeah. It's but like everyone who's inspired by music has had it the crack. I realised I'm better suited. But but it's still trying.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was just about to say. You did it. There's a difference. Like,
hard.
If you won't know until you do it, right?
Yeah, hard.
And so that's where I'm at. Like, I'm doing this, and this is my journey now. I don't know. I could be doing something completely different later on, but I love doing this.
Yeah.
And I guess the response that I've had so far, it's good. So, I'm gonna stick at it and go from there. Yeah,
Nah, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Because, like, and then when you've talked about, like, growing up with music and that, understanding that you've got a drummer, know that you're a drummer and that you're just inspired by music. And again, listen to Soulview. I'm speaking from someone who has just been playing it around, particularly from that 59-second clip that was on there. So again, shout out to 59 seconds. But I just immediately, when I saw that clip, I was like, yo. And you can tell your musical background naturally based on how you structured the song. And maybe talk to us about how did that song actually, how did it start? Like, how was it created? Who was involved in the process? Was it straight just you over a beat? How did it come to fruition, bro?
Okay, so
And how long did it take, bro? Like, if you want to share the codes like that.
it's so Soulview, it was written over another beat. It was written over another type beat. It was on a YouTube type beat.
Okay.
But so I had the written or sus. But when I was doing it over this beat, like it just didn't hit like how I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
And so I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by other musos. So I have a mate who does beats. Shout out to Mani, Prod Mani, or Prod by Mani. Shout out to the bro. He fire beats, honestly. That's it. So,
and that beat is fire, bro.
So that's his beat. And he had sent me a lot of beats, which I had just, I guess, played on the ear.
Yep.
And when I heard that specific beat, it just flowed. Like,
You knew it, eh?
It was
Game
one of
over.
those ones where, like, I was just chuck the headphones on, chuck the beat down, and because I got quite a few material that I haven't been able to put down yet, but when I heard that, obviously the lyrics to me would resonate with the beat and complement, or just like they complement each other. And so it went from there. And then I'm also fortunate enough to have another mate who does his own music, but also produces as well, and mix and masters and all of that.
Yeah.
So I hit him up. He's one of the old boys from Intermediate and Mags. So I went Mags, sorry, everybody. Yeah, I went Mags.
Yeah.
And so I hit him up, and he's always been there from, I guess, when I used to do just random stuff on the mic at his house.
Yeah.
Which I cringe at now.
Yeah. As everyone does.
Yeah.
But it's a process, eh?
It's like I look at it now, I'm like, don't ever let this out. Just delete.
Just it's in the vault and it will stay in the vault.
Nah, it's no longer in the vault. It's just
deleted. Out. It's just deleted.
Offline.
It's gone.
It's gone. But I hit him up, and the cool thing about him is, like, I have these thoughts in my head. Like I said, I think so much. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, hard.
Oh, sorry.
You dick.
It's
raw, bro. You can do whatever.
So much shit that goes on in my head. But I don't know. I don't have the knowledge with the software and everything.
Got you.
And so I just told him my thoughts. He'd chuck it on, and then I'd be like, "Oh, yo, me." But then he'd give his thoughts, chuck it on, be like, "Oh, yo, fine." And then I'd just think of more stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how it just all came to light. Like, that's how Soulview was created.
Yeah, it's not out of, like, it's not rocket science, but it was because you had a supportive team around you.
Yeah.
Which helped you mold. You weren't trying to do everything.
Yeah. And I didn't really, because I was so excited and hyped about this track of how it went from a written over a different beat to this piece. I was so hyped. I didn't do any promo for it.
No.
I didn't do any video clip. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And I just straight wrote like this little caption on my post, and I posted it. And I go, it's coming this day. But I hadn't even set up a distributor. I hadn't set up any social media or any like Spotify or music platforms. I hadn't set any of that up. But because I was so hyped and I had that confidence in the song, I was like, I'm ready to go. So I just posted up, and then I wouldn't say I regret it, because it's all learning.
Yeah.
But I learned from that.
You learned a lot because you did it so fast, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
But again, you wouldn't have learnt if you hadn't done in the first place.
Yeah, nah, that's exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly.
It's
it.
dope. That's a mean story, bro. And like, before the merch came, was that all part of the evolution of having that track and the feeling and energy that you got after recording it?
Yeah.
You're like, yo, like you didn't have that already done. It just came off the the rhythm.
It was. So I released the track, and then just obviously you know the lyrics.
Yep.
Do this for my. This is my soul view.
Hard.
My daughter, my father, my mother view. Like.
Yep.
To me, that hits hard, and
Hard.
like that part of the song. Obviously, I love the whole song, but that part of the song, that's the part that hits me the most. It's like you can hear it in my tone.
Yes, you can, bro.
You can hear it in my tone, and so my soul view. I just thought I'm chucking that on a tee. I chucked it on a tee. I wore it around. Everyone was like, "Where's my tee?" Then I was like, "This is for me. This is not for anyone else." But then obviously, I was like, I had to think about it. I was like, if people like it, it allows. They like it for a reason.
Yep.
They listen to the track. They know that it's not just there's a meaning behind Soulview.
Yeah. It's a purpose, eh?
Yeah, there's a meaning behind it. So I was like, oh yeah, all good. I'll chuck it on. Yeah. I'll take an order. So yeah, I've recently dropped this tee. You probably can see it. Going black and white. And so far it's been good.
It's awesome, man.
It's been good.
It's just amazing of that process, bro. You got to respect that, eh? Because it's like you may have. Did you feel like you say that you haven't got any regrets with it, but it was quite a fast process to do everything. However, in the scheme of things, like it's your first official track, and you've had all these like in your head. You've been rapping for so long. So from the outside looking in, it's not super fast. It's like you've done all the groundwork to get there. Yeah, sure. You haven't rushed to just put it on SoundCloud or whatever. It's still been your process because of how hard the track hits, but the meaning of Soulview and each of those verses tells a clear and poignant story, bro.
Yeah.
You got to respect that because it hits me. It's particularly one part of it. I think it's the first verse, when you're mentioning like your grandfather.
Oh, you remember the lyrics? Yeah. My guy, thank you.
No, and it's only because family's big for me, bro. Like being from Dunedin, like majority of my family are down the line in Dunedin, and scattered around the country. But being up in Auckland at the moment, don't really have any family here apart from like kind of what I call the bro or sis consultants. You know what I mean? And so like my friends become a family. Yeah. But one person who is so important to me, and you can hear it in that verse, is my granddad, or was my granddad, right? Because he was kind of head honcho. He was the man. That's I can hear it in that, and I want to talk about that, bro, if you want to, because that is just so clear, because that is, again, part of your soul view. Yeah. So, well, the relationship with your grandpa, like, what's the vibe?
I guess in the Niuean community, I'm half Samoan, half Niuean. Yeah. In the Niuean community, and more in the Christian community. Yeah. So my granddad was a preacher. Yeah. Or pastor. And he was a very stern man. Okay. He was just straight to the point, tell you how it is. Yeah. But the reason why I guess I referenced my granddad, or it's not, I guess, specifically my grandfather, but it's my grandparents. And
what they instilled.
Yeah, because to me, it's like these guys came from the islands with nothing, yet they were able to set up house in central Auckland, and they still have that house. Yeah. And here I was, like, just mucking around. Yeah. Like, to me, it was like a waste of them coming if I was to just keep mucking around. Yeah. And so I always look back, and I'm like always so grateful for my grandparents and what they've done, because without them we wouldn't be here.
100%.
I wouldn't be here.
100%.
Yeah. So
Feel that.
my granddad was just straight up like, he didn't like what you did, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
His famous line was like, "Oh, you stupid people." Like,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be a pastor. Why are you saying that?
But it was like he was speaking his truth at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that when he was saying something, it wasn't any fibs. It was out of the truth.
Yeah,
and there's a similar thing for my granddad, and it's just I just saw what he paved out, and for me, he paved out the love and care and support for other people.
Yeah.
So everything that I do comes from that,
Yeah.
because it's kind of I saw everything that I do is kind of somehow what he would do, because he instilled that in me, or that belief, you know. So that was one part of that song that always hit me, because it was probably maybe the first 5 bars or something around that. So it was dope, and just the whole thing, bro. We've been talking nearly like half an hour just about Soulview, but I feel it's so important.
Oh, damn.
It's so important. I know, I'm just looking at the timer, guys. And again, there's no time on this, there's no rules. But I mean, it's so important to talk about how Soulview came up, not only in terms of a track, because I hear in your voice, it's not just a track. It's like a way of living, so to speak, or just like the outward manifestation of what's in your head. Yeah. You know?
That's exactly it, bro. That's exactly it.
So cool. No, that's a mean story. So we just have to respect that.
Nah, all good.
It's just dope, you know?
It's
so cool.
I love what you're doing here, bro.
Shut up, brother.
For me to, I guess, talk about Soulview, I appreciate that.
I just respect it, bro. And like, for anyone out there, like, I've definitely copped an XL of the Soulview merch, because I believe in it. And it was, again, as you said, like people who wanted to get that, 9 times out of 10, if not all the time, it was because they listened to that track.
Yeah.
And it's the power of, like even just a minute or 3 minutes, or just what's in your head. It's involved so much.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that, brother. One other thing I want to ask you, not about Soulview now, but more talking about, you got your drumming. It's kind of like, it sounds like, man, like in your family, like you could go on the road. You've got like a whole band set up, bro.
Oh yeah, so we were a band.
You were a band.
I was in the church band.
Yo.
So I had the drummer. I was the drummer. My brother was the pianist. My other brother, he was the guitarist, vocals.
Yeah.
My uncle was on the bass. And we just had other church people who were singers as well. Yeah. Prior to that, before I had hopped in the band, my mum was a singer. My auntie was the singer, like her lead singer. So yeah, I have that. I guess I have that musical background. I'm not a singer, but
the
I can
melody
hold a note.
and the melody and how you structured the song.
Yeah.
Of like, and again, you can tell, and I can tell from a song, because again, I don't rap. Tried, but nah, I don't make beats. But I just listen to music religiously.
That's me.
So I can hear melody and structure quite. It's like but it's not forced as well, bro. On that track, it came so organically, and the fact that you had already written it before you hopped onto that beat, that beat was a perfect marriage. But influences outside of like your whole upbringing and being around it.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. I already know the answer, but who was like Don?
Are we talking about, I guess, music or just in life?
Oh, that's a good one, bro. Let's just
stick to music. Or?
Let's do biggest life influence first, and then musical influence second. What would you say? Or at least that could be the same person. It might be quite interesting.
I'll just start off with music.
Yo.
Music. Everyone who knows me. Like, you could ask one of my friends, who's this dude's artist? They'll say Cole.
Cole.
They'll say Cole. Like, hands down, they'll say Cole. And the funny thing about, I guess, me getting introduced to Cole, I haven't told you this story, but so while we had a Nats tournament for league, Nationals tournament for league, and I was fifth form at the time, or year 11 at the time, and I was like, I guess, one of the younger guys in the team because I was playing with the 7 formers or the year 13s they call it. Yeah, I was playing with the 7 formers, and these guys, you should check them out, bro. They're called Chasing Limits. I don't know if you've heard of them. Shout out to the bros. They're from Central Auckland. But these guys who are the ones who introduced me to Cole, they were. Have you heard of the track The Cure? If you haven't heard of that track,
from Cole, possibly.
It's like it's
my
not
Cole
on
not
Spotify.
Is it just on it? Is it on any mixtapes? Or no, it's just something else.
I don't think it is. But these guys jammed it like as if it just was make the seatbelt click.
Yeah, like it was just all the time. That's the anthem.
Yeah, that was the anthem. Yeah, that's exactly it. That was the anthem, and they would jam it in the back of the car and the van going towards the Nats, and I would just be like, "Who's this guy?" And so that's how it started. I love how Cole, he doesn't, or just how he talks to people through rapping.
Yeah,
like to me, when I listen to Cole, I listen to him speaking to me.
He is speaking
specifically to me.
Yeah,
not to everyone. He's specifically talking to me, and so that's why I love, like,
Cool.
Love the guy because his beats that he also produced at the time, everything from flow. Just that's just the GOAT to me.
That's dope.
If I'm being honest, that's me.
To me. And do you? And this is just interesting because it's funny how the world works, bro. Because I mean, I was on episode 2 with Sarah Kelsey on the One Up Project, so shout out to her. I referenced a line that Cole did about Nas.
Oh yeah.
And like, I mean, it was like,
is that the Let Nas Down song?
I may not have been. Maybe it was on Nas Let Nas Down, but he said it's like I put Nas's lyrics up on the wall. People saw words, but it was paintings or pictures I saw. Right, so it's kind of artists who speak. It's like conversational, but you can actually visualize everything now. But like a soul view, like a view of what you're actually saying. So step by step. So it's quite clear that he is the GOAT to you. And if anything, have you listened to much Nas before?
If I'm being honest, not really.
No.
Nah, if I'm being honest, not really.
And for me, it's a generational thing. It's just like I didn't listen to like Eric B and Rakim or the Pioneers or KRS-One when I was growing up. Yeah. I mean, I got into hip hop. It was probably Scribe, the Crusader, and 50s Get Rich. Yeah, that was around that time, and Eminem, and around that Dr. Dre 2001 era. I mean, that was when I was like 10. So back those late 90s, early 2000s. But you don't even need to listen to Nas, bro, because if anything, if you're listening to J. Cole, he is very much in that vein. Yeah. Enough for him to say, let Nas down. So it's kind of, in a way, there's some parallels and some influence of, you can see the tree of rappers. Yeah. And you got to respect Cole.
Yeah. I think the only reason why I guess I'd say I didn't really listen to Nas is because I listened to the music that my brothers listened to.
And what was that? And what was that outside of Cole?
That was like Bone Thugs.
Yo.
That was like heavy Bone Thugs.
Like first album? Like 1989 Eternal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like it wasn't just rap for me then. Like it was reggae. It was church music. It was like a whole lot of variety of music, genres of music. Like my dad listens to like 80s, 70s, like real like old school music. and I don't know the names of the track or the artists, but when he plays a song, I can sing along to it because he's a repeat dude.
It's like kind of Marvin Gaye, James Brown, sort of
or
Earth, Wind and Fire.
even like Fleetwood Mac, what's the other crew? U2.
U2, Pink Floyd,
like
all that sort of stuff.
It's hard to explain, bro.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, he just played all these different artists, which kind of like it just resonated with me, or like it's
naturally in terms of your taste and your palate.
My ear. It's like, oh yeah, I can vibe with these songs.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I guess I'm not just straight head on rap.
Hard.
I can listen to so many more different music.
Yeah, exactly.
Music,
you got to respect that, and that's probably like for me. I don't listen. I like rap, but there's parts of rap that I don't like. There's parts that I love. The ones that I love have incorporate the soul, whether the samples or those sorts of beats that I like. But I definitely am heavy into when I was growing up, and what I was listening to in high school was a lot of New Zealand dub reggae music. So Salmonella dub, Tiki Tane, Kora, Catch Fire, that. So that's a lot of that musical influence in terms of my taste palette. Is that, as well as some of the New Zealand spitters as well. But it's dope.
They also used to listen to. Did you ever listen to Dipset?
Yeah, like Cameron. Yeah.
My brother, he used to just thrash them, mate, like heavy thrash them.
That's dope.
Biggie, Tupac.
Classics.
Like the OGs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't just rap for me. It was.
It's good. It's just music, and that's why you kind of say you're an artist as opposed to just a rapper or an MC.
Yeah, I don't want to limit myself to just being a
box
because I've listened to so many different styles of music, and I like different sounds and how people like use their voice.
Yeah,
and a goat to me would be Andre.
Oh, yeah.
Stacks, like how he.
Yeah,
I would just say this, like he. Has the title, or not a title, but he's considered as a GOAT from just all his features. He doesn't have a single album.
Yeah, outside of like Love Below.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's like a solo album.
Yeah.
Like,
that solo rap album, like.
Or Andre album. It's
So like, he made a name of himself. Obviously, Outcast.
Yeah.
But like, his features, everyone knows all the tracks that he jumped on, it became his song.
Pretty much.
People went to it. Personally, that's just what I think.
Yeah.
I would go to a track, which wasn't a song, but I'd go specifically for him because
he's on it, and you know that he's going to deliver.
He just elevated it. Gave that different flow, that different sound, like all of that.
And his influence is clear because, I mean, you can probably see it now in like artists like Future, Thug, even like Kanye, Kid Cudi, 808s and Heartbreak. That's more or less the speaker box Love Below.
I don't know if you hear it in K-Dot, but I know like when I listen to K-Dot, I hear Andre like to a T.
Yeah, like the manipulation of the voice and the different characters and that stuff.
Exactly it. How he uses his voice and everything.
Yep, that's fire, eh? So K-Dot's probably another one in there.
K-Dot's one for me. Recent years. Before, because I wasn't very, I wasn't an active listener growing up.
Of music?
Lyrics. Lyrics.
Got you.
For me, I would just slap the beats and be like.
And if it gave you the energy?
Yeah.
Is it because you were at that point in time?
Yeah.
You were just chasing after that rugby dream and you needed that energy to get you through.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't have enough time to just pause, listen, soak in.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone knew me when I was, I guess, jamming footy. Yeah. Everyone knew me for being the guy who'd chuck on the headphones, blast it up, and I'd just be bouncing in the change rooms, like, and everyone else is getting strapped, and I'd already be done. It'd either be I'd be fully kitted up, like ready to go, strapped, or I would just leave it to the last minute because I was just getting in the zone, just like vibing out hard out. But it wasn't only until I guess I really started investing time into writing where I started to realize that K-Dot is a great as he is also a genius.
Layers.
It's like I guess prior to being the active listener, to me, I just thought, oh, this guy's too fast for me, or like he raps too quick for me, or like what he was saying I didn't really understand. But the more I learned about, I guess, metaphors and puns and all of that stuff, double entendres, I started to realize like this guy is saying like a whole story in like 2 bars.
Yeah.
And to me,
Same.
that's like that's a genius.
Next level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a genius.
Yeah.
I think you got to be like part of his cult in order to understand him.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts, eh? But it's like their influences, as you said, like they are clearly influenced by the MCs before them, or the artists before them, but just different sounds before them as well. Like you hear in Cole and you hear in Kendrick a lot of that soul funk era, particularly in Kendrick and like Pimp a Butterfly and stuff. But then Cole, you hear a lot more of that sample based and that Kanye sort of produced, which we know his sort of stuff as well.
He had an easygoing flow.
Yeah.
For me, Cole had an easygoing flow where K-Dot was like unpredictable. You couldn't guess where the end of his bar or the start of his new bar was coming from, because it was just so unorthodox. And he's even got that, like, I'm sure he's got a track called Unorthodox.
Yeah. It's like, he's just complex. Like, it's layers. Like, it's kind of claustrophobic at times. I mean, you listen to his albums because you're not going to pick it up straight away. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's not called Unorthodox. It's called, have you heard of Ignorance is Bliss?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
To me, that song, like, if I had listened to it when I wasn't an active listener, I'd just be like, next.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that there was a whole artwork in that.
Yeah.
But when I recently, I think maybe a year ago, I listened to it and I was like,
wow. And one of my favorite like Kendrick tracks is like Cartoons and Cereal.
Oh yeah.
That with like gunplay, like it's just next level. And that was like before like gunplay.
Yeah,
it's like video with like MMG, but he's talented.
Complement each other.
Yeah,
with their voices and everything. Like
100%, bro.
It's mean. It's like you go from this guy to this guy. It's like
that's crazy.
Yeah,
but semi not stop talking about music, but other influences in terms of what you do, bro. Because I feel that it's not just the music, and it's not about the last, like, say 24 years, but there's obviously other people that you draw from.
Yeah.
Like, you say that you kind of got a good head in the business sense. Not necessarily that, and the cat's playing silly buggers. Come here. Mr. Phoebes, he'll come up at some point. But not about business, but like what other things do you get up to outside of raps, outside of your normal day-to-day, outside family, outside of just hanging out with your friends? Like, what other interests do you have, bro, that like to really show that it isn't just rap or go to the league, you do so many other things.
It's funny you say that. I have so I got to take you through this journey in order to explain it. If I'm honest.
You can completely do it, bro, because that's what we're here.
So when I went to Oz, I didn't know anyone besides family, but it was at the time it wasn't. I wasn't really close with them. If you get me, they were like family or distant cousins.
Related, but you didn't have a foundation with them enough to go to them and build.
I think because when they had lived in New Zealand prior to moving to Oz.
Yeah.
So they're from New Zealand. But I had played footy with one of my cousins who I consider as my brother now. But I had played with him throughout the years, but I was young at the time and I didn't understand about this whole family vibes, buzz thing. I was a kid at the time. But I ended up living with their family over in Oz, and to me, if I'm being completely honest, I felt like a stranger because I didn't really know them or have that bond with them. So I lived there. They have a family of, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, they have 10 kids.
Yeah.
So full house, and I used to go there and I used to just be stuck in the room And I hate it. Like, I hate talking about the story because I just feel like how much of a little shit it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Just because you
just
just
so
weren't comfortable.
ignorant. Yeah. To me, looking in, like, at myself then, I feel like this guy's so ungrateful.
Yeah.
And I used to not lock myself, but I used to just camp in the room and just watch like anime on my phone. Or like when I first moved there, I used to just keep to myself.
Yep.
Besides work, like I'll go there, work, and then come back and I'll just camp. But I ended up like, that's my mum and dad over there now, and those are like my blood brothers and sisters.
Got you, because you've built that solid.
I ended up building that relationship. Like, I love those dudes to the death, and they know, like, if I could move back, because I have some situations here with my daughter, but if I could move back, they know that I would move back.
Hard.
So I guess I'm just trying to play that out. But anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, it's a mean story so far, bro.
I seem to talk on quite a bit.
No, but it's good. I do the same thing. So we're like, just there's no rules, bro. You just tell us the story.
Cool. So my biological brother, like my actual brother, used to live in Sydney before I moved over.
Got you.
And he had like a network. He worked in uni.
Okay.
He was a careers worker. He worked in the careers department. And he had known a whole lot of people. And so when I went over, he reached out to his contacts and just said, hey, my brother's over there by himself, like doesn't know really like many people, or any people at all. And he reached out to one guy in particular, which it's funny. This is even funnier part. So he hadn't even met the dude.
Really?
That he reached out to. He knows this guy through one of his friends.
Okay.
And so at the time he was really close with this guy, and he had so much respect for this guy. And that guy said, his friend is a real cool dude.
Okay.
Let him connect with him. And this guy was an Asian guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had never hung out with any Asians in my life. And this guy is like probably a good 20 years or 30 years older than me.
Okay.
But I ended up catching up with the dude because at the time I didn't know that my brother didn't actually know him.
Got you. You just out of the trust of your brother, you knew that they knew each other directly.
Yeah. And so we crack up to this day because I remember messaging him afterwards, or when I found out he didn't know him, and I was like, gee, you got to be sending me to like a rapist or someone. Like, why would you do that to me?
Yeah.
So I went and I met this dude, and this dude made me think outside of the box, like outside of footy. He asked me a simple question, which was, what do you want to do in life? And I said to him, footy. And he said, what about like anything else? Like, what about having your own? Oh, he actually didn't say having your own business, but he said, is there anything else besides footy that you wanted to do? I said, nah, I'll do that and I'll work at Macca's. Like, that was my mindset.
That's that mindset.
That was that mindset. And so I was like, oh. He was like, oh, okay. Is there anything else that you could think of? Yep. Because I couldn't give him the answer. I actually didn't think.
That's all you were thinking of, because it's all.
Yeah.
That's exactly
get what you mean. It. And so I told him that I didn't want to work for anyone else.
Yeah.
Eventually, I wanted to be my own boss.
Like, build towards that. That was
my end goal, was to be my own boss and not work for anyone else. Right. And so we just caught up, had lunch, and then separate, like just went different ways. Yep. But then he contacted me again and he said, let's catch up. And he had, so this, like I said, I don't really know this dude.
Just out of conversation and from your brother knowing a friend.
From random connections. And so when I had, when he had contacted me, I thought, oh, cool, like this guy's actually pretty cool coming back to me. And he had a business idea. So I haven't told you about this.
No.
But I tried to do business prior.
Got you.
To music.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had this business idea, which was running a labor hire.
Okay.
And so
interesting.
It's such a long story.
Yeah, just keep going, man.
My brother's mate that he actually knows.
Yeah.
The Asian guy is the one who mentored him.
Ah.
And so my brother's mate, he he was in a dark place, similar situation. No, I wouldn't say similar situation, but he didn't know anyone. He moved over to Oz. That guy connected with him, ended up making him a millionaire. Like, he's got his own business. It's a cool story. Started from picking strawberries to actually owning a strawberry farm to owning, he had his own, not freight, trucks.
Distribution.
Freight trucks.
Yeah.
He bought a freight truck, then invested it into having just I think 8 or 7 freight trucks.
Well,
and then just so on and so on. They're not close anymore, but he did that. And so when the Asian guy came to me, he came to me with an idea which I never came up with. So for him to even like think of all of this stuff and give it, like, he pretty much
like I want you to do this.
Yeah, like he pretty much told me, let's try this.
Yeah.
And because like I said, I had that pressure of doing well here and being successful, so I could have my daughter come over and live with me.
Yeah.
So I would try anything.
Yeah.
So I went and I did that. Ended up having a labour hire.
Okay.
So I used to run one. I had one worker and I had what do they call it now? I forgot. A placement. I had already given someone to another company, so I had some money in there. And this Asian guy, he pretty much like introduced me to a new world.
Wow.
Like I said, it was footy, and that was it. But he introduced me to something besides footy, which was business. And so I would be like up late studying. Like he said, you didn't need to go to uni to study business.
Do it.
He said, Google is your best friend right now.
Yeah.
And he said, your networking, like the people you know who own businesses, they are your best friends right now.
Yeah.
And so I did that. Like I reached out to so many different, like older generation, but so many people that I knew who had business, and I just asked, like, can I just learn off you?
Yeah.
And I was doing that like so much.
Awesome.
That like I would be up until maybe 3 o'clock in the morning.
Just networking.
Just networking or on Google.
Researching.
I ended up like writing up my own contract. But by like looking at studying different
and just
other labor hire contracts and just like making it mine.
Yeah.
And so I would send all of this material, what I would come up with, and I would send it to him, and he would just proof check it and like little edits or make it like an actual legal document.
Got you. Yep.
And I even did like interviews over the phone.
Yeah.
Like real random shit to you. Like I wouldn't, and at the time I was only like 22 or 21.
It's nuts.
Nah, 22. Pretty sure.
And this was like amongst doing all this stuff, amongst doing all your traveling 3 hours in the morning for 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
To then go still doing training.
Yeah.
So like you already came with the beginning, you said you came home about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you had to get up at 3.
Oh, wait,
now,
no.
Or was this separate?
Actually, sorry, no, this is when I moved back to New Zealand.
Oh, you back to New Zealand. Sorry, brother.
No,
no.
Got
what you mean. So it's NZ.
This
that's
is when I moved back to NZ. But like
that's awesome.
I think actually it started in Oz because it's quite a while back.
Get what you mean. Yeah.
But it started in Oz, but then obviously I ended up coming back to New Zealand, and I just tried to put my foot in here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I used to just jam all of that. So I guess he's probably
good
a
foundation influence
to me, and I just feel like I owe him so much for just at least introducing me to a different sort of thinking.
You still talk? Every now and then, or is he
every now and then? I guess we're just on different journeys now.
And I think that's even for myself, bro. Like I've got like business mentors, or I've got mentors who they don't actually know that they're mentors, but through what they do, their actions, or even just having a conversation, and it might be a conversation of like 30 seconds with someone that has influenced my decision-making process along the way. So it's like, there's an awesome story of that, because it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense to me of how you're able to, like the process of Soulview, to just be able to do it, because I've done this before. I know how to do this, and I know how to kind of produce myself in terms of what I would like to put out.
I wouldn't say I'm a guru, but I think I know.
I'm not a guru, but like I
know that foundation of how to start, like
something.
And I have a little bit of experience in that whole business lane.
That's dope.
So like, it wasn't just the labor hire, it was also distributing strapping tape.
Got you.
I had that idea, and I was working towards that. I was also like, it was just a mean hustle.
You were just hustling.
I would be buying like broken iPhone 6s and looking at how to get them shipped to China to get them fixed, and then bring them back and selling
like
a mad hustle. And this was all because of this dude. Like, it would be
instilled that belief of like, it's more than rugby. It's like this. Here's the blueprint of here's something. Now repeat the process, different way that you feel you can stretch it.
And we don't talk much anymore, but I have so much respect for that.
That's awesome.
He's one of my, I guess, life influences. And I guess just another one is my older brother. My older brother, he gives so much back to the community. For Islanders and our young youth generation, and it's just kind of what he does through uni and through schoolwork and through culture. I want to do that, but through music and through apparel and other, just what I do. I want it to try and reflect or brush off onto the younger generation.
Got you. If anything, you want to be that mentor, or that coal to the next generation, and if that inspires them to do something good or think outside of the lane or the box,
that's exactly
it's just that.
That's exactly it.
That's fire, man. That is like such a dope story, bro. Because is that like where you see you're 24, I can tell that you're just onto it, bro. Like, you've got like and of course there's always rough and smooth, it's highs and lows, but it seems that you have had enough, you're good at internalizing, and you know where you are at based on all different experiences. That you must have a plan of what's up next, particularly for yourself, but more for what you want to do as an artist, right? Like, is this now the energy that you had for rugby? Is this kind of where we're at with the music and business? If you think about the energy that you got from recording that track,
no,
like,
honestly,
if you're wanting the power of manifestation and bringing it out,
this is the lane that I'm like. Those who know me, when I put my mind to something, I just go and I go deep,
non-stop.
I would work myself, and I guess it can be bad, but like, I work myself hard. To me, I like study the game. I never believed in studying the game prior to all this music. Like, when rappers said I studied the game, like blah blah blah, I never thought about it, but I do. It's just because I want to see what's out there, and I want to be different. Like, I don't want to be the same. I want to be myself. And I'm just still finding my craft, and that's
true. Still trying to find your sound in a way. Which is important now.
So, music's the go-to for now. I also have some more business ventures coming out, but that's all in the hush at the moment.
Yeah, of course, brother.
That's all in the hush at the moment.
Yeah.
We've just been working in the background while I do this music stuff, and then when it comes, it comes. But at the moment, yeah,
There's no real plan. It's just the vibes that you're letting that go organically in a way. Not organically, but you've got a plan. But you're not chasing after people's validation. You already know in your head of like, this is the path that I've already mapped out, because you can already see if I do this, I'll do this. It will lead to that. And if I, based on your experience or anyone's experience, you're like, if I go this way, it may not work.
Yeah.
But you've crafted it in a way.
Yeah, I think just coming back to what you said with the whole, I'm onto it. I wouldn't say I'm onto it, but what separates me from, I guess, the norms is that I'm doing
hard. Yep. And then would that be your message to, like, again, to the younger generation, is that you can do too? Because I was there too.
You won't know until you do.
Yeah.
You won't know until you do. You got to push these boundaries,
do something,
or step outside of the box, or like get into the uncomfortable zone that you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Like that was me through music. I was so uncomfortable with releasing my music until I just did it. Like, I was so proud of making that Soulview track that I was like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm so proud of it. Like, this hits home for me. I'm releasing it.
And you're done because you were already fulfilled, regardless of like the numbers, or it's not about the numbers for you. It's about how it made you feel, and that confidence boost that got you to then. Because afterwards, did that just inspire back to back kind of recording, or was that?
I kind of already had a vision of how I wanted to put out music. It's just been, I guess, I will be honest, as a new artist, it's quite difficult to put out music, or good quality music, to my own standards.
Yeah.
When I have, I guess, a limited access
to people,
to people, yes, but also, I hate to say it, but money, for me. Money isn't everything, but money is access. Like, I look at it as money allows you to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
And so that's why I ended up, like, I guess, dropping these Soulview tees as well. Yeah. It was just another thought of my head. Like, I can use this Soulview apparel to invest into making more Soulview music.
Yeah.
That will give back to those who really want that Soulview vibe. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's dope. So like getting the money to reinvest into your own Soulview, to then give people the opportunity to hear your Soulview, for them to then develop their Soulview, to then go da. That's where mine goes. It's similar, like exactly my mind goes racing.
That's exactly it.
That's just how integrated Soulview is, man. Like, it's just. And it just came from the track.
Yeah.
But that's probably inherently, you always had that Soulview, you just didn't have a name for it.
Yeah, there was,
inspiring shit, bro.
Yeah, I guess Soulview is not really a what, but it's a why. It's your why.
It's your purpose.
It's your purpose. And I guess things for, nowadays, I always refer back to my people, or islanders in general, because there is a problem in how we think. And so the why is just so that, like I said, we couldn't speak out. It's that you shy away from speaking your emotion.
Yeah.
And so that is why the word soul, or the name Soulview fit, because it allowed them to represent something besides, I guess, a street code, or a thing. It was like their self. Like, Soulview to me, it was like they could rip it because they're ripping themselves. Like,
their own soul.
Yeah.
Hard. It's like I'm ripping Soulview because, like, if I'm reading Soulview, come talk to me about me, because I've got a view on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got so many layers, man. It's like an onion, bro. It's fire. Honestly, bro. It's... Oh, I can't wait to get that t-shirt, bro, because I've got to rip it heavy, bro.
Okay,
it's going to be dope, bro. I know, bro. And that's never rushing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I've just feel the vibes enough to... That was just after not even this convo, bro. It's nuts.
Yeah.
For me, it's just amazing. I mean, you know yourself so much, but you speak from the heart and you have truth. And you speak your truth, your view.
Because my struggle is different to your struggle. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we go through struggle, right?
It's like, it's my struggle is my struggle, but in my relative, in my head, it's what's going on. And the same thing for, but we can still connect on our mutual understanding.
Because at the end of the day, struggle is struggle, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And mind over everything, eh? It's dope, bro. But it's, I think, a couple of last things before we shoot off, because we've been, man, this has just been such an organic chat, bro. We're looking at the dial. I'm looking at the dial. It's like 1 hour. But
yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. We're just like kicking
it. Yeah.
I mean, that's again, it's the purpose of this show is just to, not really a show. I hate calling it a show. It's just catching up and having me as hui. Yeah. Because that's what I love to do, and I feel you feel the same way. Just connecting, networking. When you said about networking stuff, it just makes sense. But you're not doing it after like, not necessarily like what you can get out of it, but just like what energy will inspire something else. I want to, if you can quickly maybe talk about the, I think that's real interesting just to showcase the power of maybe anyone else who has come on here or anyone who you're talking to who would like to be here or in other situations to speak on a microphone if they haven't done it before. But how did you find out about Assorted Kiwi? Because that just blows my mind, that story. And it even could it just leads into maybe some next steps that you can decide to talk about or not. But that's just dope. Yeah, to me, bro. Like it actually, and it's not all about me, but it's about the platform. Yeah, you know what I mean, bro? Because the reason why you're here is because of that story, and it's so. I like to showcase that because it's just what this platform's about, bro. So
it's all good.
Fire
again, off the back of Soulview, the track. The track. So the bro who's already been on this, Checkered. So he had commented on my post or my release that I had released a song, and he had just commented and was just like tough or clean. I think he said clean with the emojis of like the tough emojis or whatever with the blowing out nostrils. Yeah. And I didn't know who the dude was, but I liked it and I commented and I just said thanks. And I didn't think anything of it just because I wanted to respond to everyone, but I wanted to respond to everyone properly. Like that's my vibes. And so when I was going to respond to him, I actually clicked on his profile just to see who this person was, because I didn't want to message any random, you get those random requests that you get, and it's like, hey, block.
Out of here. It's like message request, like, nah.
Those who know what I'm talking about, those block.
Yeah, or message request, and there's a group of like 25 people, and I was like, nah, you're not having the codes.
But so he had messaged, it's like, he commented, and then I clicked on his page and I saw your guys' podcast or your guys' show. The thing. Your guys' thing. Yeah. And it was here. No, it was at his house.
At his house,
and I got to, for some odd reason, I just wanted to see what this is about. So I clicked on it and I listened to it, and I listened to it for like a good 40 minutes. Like
the majority of the crux of it, eh?
That's how I got to know what this dude was about, Checkered, and then I also got to know what you were about. And I really loved the energy and what you guys were about, just like the whole uplifting each other. That's a vibe to me. And that's rare to see that nowadays. to have someone else encourage you, or have someone else that I guess you have just met encourage you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's why I looked at it and I was just like, oh yeah, I followed both of you guys.
Yo.
And I guess we just kept in contact. But
Oh.
that just whole getting introduced to Assorted and to Checkered is just a random, like, to me, that's fate. Like,
This happens, eh?
that just happened, like, randomly. I could have easily just not replied.
Or not even been on your phone enough to
have,
and it spawned. Like you've got your own relationship with Check It off the back.
Yeah.
And it spawned this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
But it's
nuts,
like
you know what I mean?
Like I said, when I watch your guys' ones, it's just like we pretty much share the same vision of just uplifting people in general.
And providing just the codes.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably the big thing for me is just, like, this is the start of a relationship.
For sure.
This is the start of my relationship with Cheeked or with Sarah Kelsey. It's always that it isn't just coming over here because it's like a radio interview on a publication and then like see you later. It's more like I'm invested in this stuff enough to be like, like that. It's not just fire, but you're gonna come around and spin some records again.
It's like, it's just because of what you represent, right? That speaks like so much. How people represent themselves. Like, it's
the vibes.
That's exactly it. It's a vibe, and it's so easy to connect with those who share that same vision.
It's not even that. I think it's just people with, I don't know if not speaking for you or may or may not be this, bro. It's first off, bro, I'm like honored for you to say that because I don't know if you feel the same way in what you do. I don't do it out of like attention or getting any sort of thing.
No, for sure.
It's about just the vibes, of course, because I'm very about that energy, and I want to see people shine. But I don't do it. And it sounds weird to say this, bro. I don't know if you feel the same way if anyone asks you, but it's not planned. It's just the vibes.
Oh, yeah.
I think like maybe if like it feels weird to kind of be retrospectively talking about myself because I don't really like to do it a lot.
Yeah.
But if it's enough for us to have conversations or other people to hear what you say and take at least one nugget from it, that's kind of where you study the game, I study my game of just after this, I'll be watching this constantly. Like, I watched the Checkered one constantly. I watched the last one constantly because I'm a bit of a nerd like that. Like, I just listen to audio like nothing else. So,
it's all good.
But, bro, insane. Like, it's just, bro, the vibes. And I know it's just amazing. Like, one thing I've actually got for you, bro, is the following. Because, I don't know if you've, like with me, I've got channels everywhere. It's crazy. Like, I've got my sort of Kiwi, I've got my personal one, but I'm clearly into my records. I love my records, bro, and you know that. Yeah. And again, like this is always, you're going to come back and you can spin it any time.
Yeah.
And, you know, all that stuff. And basically, bro, brother, there you go. For reals.
Wait.
Hard.
What?
Hard. 100%. That's, you said to me.
No,
for real. Like, for real.
I didn't accept this, dude. Like,
no. You're on
I
that,
feel
bro.
rude not accepting it, but that's not me.
No, but for me, bro, no, it's part of the sort of...
Yeah.
I'm not, bro. I'm not. And this is the same response as Sarah gave me when I flicked it a 660. It's an album that I've listened to a lot. And I know that it means a lot from a Cole perspective, right? So if I was to, because I love my records, that's what it's about. If you're into the record game, the collecting game, I don't like, kind of like sneakers. Like vinyl for me is like sneakers, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I can't wear every single pair of sneakers or I can't own every single album, but if I've listened to the album a lot and I've taken a lot from it, but then I'm sitting next to a brother who like loves Cole more than I do.
I said he's setting me up.
I'm not setting you up, bro. Like that's just, it kind of sounded like when I put it, hey, choose your backdrop. What's your Cole album? Off the back of like, what are your favorite Cole albums?
If only you knew what this guy did.
But yeah, I mean, like it's kind of part of the lay down, just laying it down. But it's just, again, it's a thanks for coming to the footy and spending a lot of time sharing your Soulview with me and other people. But it's only the beginning, brother, because like that's a token from me of thanking you for being here and just being a real one and sharing the vibes. Like that is nothing compared to the vibes and the energy that I've got, and I will continue on with, brother. So talk to me and talk to the rest of the people about what that album is, and just what are your favourite cuts off it.
Honestly, you put me on the spot.
I know, bro. I
actually I struggle. Like I struggle on accepting gifts. That's just me, how I am. I struggle a lot accepting gifts, but thank you. I feel rude not accepting it.
But I respect that, like that you're like that, because I'm a bit of the same in a random act of kindness like that. But
I'm more a giver.
I'm a giver as well, bro. So like, if people give me stuff, I'm like, because I think that's the thing. It's like if you're providing for a lot of people, it's nothing to a giver, if you know what I mean, to give something, but to receive it, it feels different.
Yeah,
and I know how it feels for me sometimes, and it's just an act of just. But it's 2014 Forest Hills Drive, J. Cole. Flick it up to the camera, G. I mean, you've already talked about Cole, but like that's just a mean-ass album. So again, on this podcast, it's about showing a little bit of a sort of Kiwi, what he's up to, the love for vinyl, and hopefully people who are watching are keen to get into some wax too. And if that's your first, is that your...
That's my first. And
I'm what a best one, it's Cole one.
I'm glad that it's a Cole.
Bro.
Thank you so much.
That's nothing, bro.
Nothing, brother. Thank you so much.
And you can just like spin it, and it's just, again, like, bit like the Asian fella, like life we go like this, but I know that like from us, so like you can just hit me up anytime.
No, catch up for a feed, bro, honestly, after this.
Yeah, 100 a day. And it's like, but it's, I think you're now part of, I want to remind anyone who watches this show, or anyone who becomes future peeps on the show, or future sort of Kiwis, right? Because again, with Assorted, it's everyone has their own point of view. Like there's similarities, but we've got different things. You love Cole. I respect, like, Cole isn't my favourite one, but like we've got the balance of the music and that mutual respect for Cole. But it's just it's honestly just stoked to have another sort of Kiwi, because it's rare to find these. It's just knowing where to look, and hopefully that this is a platform for people to know and build with you, particularly once they watch this, they'll go through Soulview and have a greater appreciation for the track. More, I do have more appreciation for it now. I'm excited for anything that's to come.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely more to come. I actually got a new track coming, probably in the, hopefully before, next month, and it's kind of, it's going to be, like, I'm actually doing a video clip for it.
Oosh.
So it's a big one.
It'll be your first video as well?
To me, it's a big one.
That's sick.
So yeah, like, stay tuned. As
always, you know me, bro. I will. But last, I want to kind of give you the last, one thing for me is just like, at the end, it's all about giving New Zealand music the shine. We don't know if it's going on YouTube's and stuff, but and on Spotify's, but anyone in the world could answer it. But like, I mean, like, we always have an opportunity with any platform in New Zealand to put on for a New Zealand artist. But, like, if you were to pick one song, bro, your favourite New Zealand song across any genre or whatever that you want to just play to ride out to, what would that be? And it can be anything, bro. We did it with Checkered. Checkered was Scribe Dreaming. Did it with Sarah. It was like 660. What was it? It was Vibes.
Yeah.
It was the Vibes. And I'll cue it up and we'll ride out to it, bro.
Really?
And then, yeah, that's why we got the headphones.
Oh, but see, I'm like, I don't know.
It can be anything, bro. It's not a big pressure.
Nah,
That you do feel like
I got a track, but I don't know, maybe you play Homebrew, Kentucky Gold. That's my vibe.
Yo.
That's a vibe for me.
Sweet. Why is that the vibe for you, bro? Why?
That inspired me to write one of my own, like that beat inspired me to write a single off that beat and what he spoke about. And
what Tom Scott
spoke
about.
What Tom Scott spoke about. I just thought that was a vibe. Like that hits the soul for me. That's the soul view of that dude.
Yeah,
if you 100%. Get me. So yeah, I love that track. There's so many Indian artists that I just think, if these guys, I don't know what it is, but these guys got mad talent. And I feel like these guys are better than some American artists out there that have like all these massive ass following. So I don't know how the game works, but I know that India's got game.
India's got game, bro.
I know
it does, eh?
You've heard this or not?
Yeah, it was choice 4 now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you want it? You can just check it whatever. Oh, yeah.
Let's get this album now.
Drowning my Avondale blues in Kentucky gold. Broken brain stands, burn the flames in a bucky bowl. The sweet smell of Mother Mary that my mother rolled. Or rubber soul revolved to soothe a troubled soul. My old man sold his for a bag of beans. Fiends with old showbiz dreams they hadn't seen. My mother caught a string of cider on a trampoline. Didn't understand it, that was standing.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. I spent my best days.
He's in top 3 artists for me. Cole, 3 Stacks, Tom Scott, top 3 artists.
Yo, you heard it right there. Those three tunes are the best, eh? And like, check out like that Choice 4 album, Kentucky Gold, fire.
Straight up.
Taio, bro.
Nah, thank you,
good, bro.
Thank you for the record. Thank you for having me here. It's just been mean to connect with
It is mean, eh?
Like, obviously, like you just said, we'll connect outside of this.
Hard.
I love what you're about, so just keep doing what you're doing.
And keep doing what you're doing, bro. Because, like, just so we've all got our views. And we just need to, as you said, if more people can be a bit like yourself, it's okay to say what you want to say or how you feel in your soul. Don't be scared to say it, because that allows you to think differently.
Break away from those chains.
Yeah, or just put it out. And even though I do a lot of stuff, like I say stuff even to myself. Like I drive in the car and I say stuff just so I can visually hear it and then play it back to myself. And that's a learning. So honestly, guys, it's been a privilege. It's never a chore to do this stuff. It's just vibes and it's fun. So thanks again for watching it, guys. Taio, my Soulview, J. Cole, so many gems. There's no what you put on the gems, and reach out to Taio if you want to just build, because the vibes are real. So, shot, guys.
Yo.
See you.
Peace.